Today, I want to talk about gender roles. I've noticed a dating crisis. A lot of people are lost when they're trying to find a mate. People seem to be having a more difficult time than ever connecting with one another. And I'm always like wondering what causes this. I always want to get to the marrow of the problem. Like, what is the root cause of why, with the age of technology that we live in, with social media and with all these dating apps, like it's more instantaneous than ever to connect with somebody. With all of this technology and the ability to access anyone at any time, why then are we experiencing an epidemic of loneliness? Why are we in the height of depression? Why are people experiencing loneliness in an unparalleled way? We've never seen this before throughout history. Today, we're just going to talk about, I think, the dating crisis. And I would definitely call it a crisis because so many people I'm talking to, like men and women, and I'm just seeing like all the stuff online. I can't find a good man, or I can't find a good woman. What I've noticed, the problem with our dating currently, our dating culture, is that people are no longer embodying gender roles. Women, I think, are having a really hard time finding a truly masculine alpha male. And that is what we as women crave. Deep down inside, every single woman craves a masculine, authoritative man. A man, not toxic masculinity. Do not misunderstand me here, okay? Like, true masculinity is beautiful. They're gentlemen. I know plenty of men that have waited till marriage to have sex. I'm not saying you should do that. But I know plenty of men who are, spiritually very devout, very devoted to their families and their children. I know tons of men who are really wonderful human beings. And yet they're definitely the rarity for this day and age. That's not typical. Most men are not embodying, and I feel like this is what we call toxic masculinity. Most men are not embodying the true alpha masculine energy, right? So with that being said, guys, I love you. I'm not singling you out. This is not all on you. Your healing is your responsibility, but what happened to you was not your fault. But it is our challenge and our burden to strip down and unmask all that shit and unpack all the bullshit and heal, so we can be the most use to our family members and to our society, so we can serve a purpose, so we can fulfill our divine role and our duty and our honor to one another. So guys, now that I picked on you for a minute, women, let's get over to our side of the street, right? Ladies, what I've noticed with women is but women have also fallen short of our divine feminine essence. So we are not connected to our beautiful, soft, feminine, nurturing side, our grace and our empathy. Women are warm creatures. We are feminine, we are graceful. When we are in that beauty, that goddess energy, we're soft. Equally as powerful to a man, but men and women are not equal. You'll never convince me of that. And why would you want to be? Like, a man is never going to be able to nurture a child the way that a woman will, because women have such a deep understanding of all of the range of human emotion. Every single element of the spectrum of human emotion, that is a woman's role. That is our domain. That is where we thrive. Women are the nurturers. We are able to foster growth and compassion and love and tolerance and beauty. Like, that is the woman. That is the female divine side of it. The man, equally as powerful, but in a different way. Men can accomplish things with, their brute strength, with their dominance, with their authority. You need both to raise a healthy human being. And I think that this is where we got lost as a civilization. I believe that you can trace it back to actually like when women went into the workforce. I do believe it was done by design. Okay, hear me out. So modern feminism, it's not like what feminism was back in the day when there were suffragettes and they were just fighting for the right to vote. Like, yes, of course, you get a voice. There is a purpose for it then. But I think that we've gone so long without a real problem now that humans are inventing problems. Like, I love that saying that strong men create easy times easy times create weak men, and weak men create hard times. So we are living in the hard times because men and women have gone without real problems for so long in order to feel some sort of validation or feel like they are contributing in some way when they're not. It's really easy to just virtue signal and get on board with, whatever the current movement is today. And right now it happens to be feminism, i.e. wokeism. And with modern feminism, the problem is they have wanted to be equal to men. So instead of just saying like, hey, we deserve a voice and a spot too at the table, they have decided to become men. And I think that's where we went wrong. The whole like modern feminism thing is just, it's like baffling to me. I really don't understand why women bought into this notion that we would be so much better off going into the workforce and giving over dominion of our children to the state. I think that's where we really went astray as a society, as a culture. And there's a lot to unpack here, so bear with me for a moment. If you have a drink, cheers. I'm not like advertising this, but White Claw, if you do want to pay me, I don't know, I love it. It's all I drink, and tequila, 2 carbs, babe. Cheers. Black cherry, love it. Women entering the workforce. So I have a lot of issue with this. I think that it's wonderful in one regard. Yes, if you have a skill and you can best serve humanity by procuring that skill, developing it, and sharing it with the world, then that's amazing. I am not married, I don't have children, okay? But I do raise a lot of human beings. I'm very involved with my family. I've been raising kids since I was 9 years old. I'm exhausted. But I do believe that this was done by design to control, manipulate us, and to take authority away from the mother and father and the nuclear family unit and give authority and power and dominion over to the state. So we can go back and take a look at why modern feminism started and why did women enter the workplace? Well, the elites, the bankers, the shadow government, whatever you want to call them, they figured out that, hey, we're only getting taxes from half the population. So what if we convince the women that it's in their best interest to enter the workforce as well? And then guess what? Ding, ding, ding. We will be getting taxes from everybody. We will be getting double the amount of taxes. And here's what's better. We're now going to gain control over these little young minds, send them to school all day, or indoctrination camps as I call them. And then we can design the curriculum, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Morgans, all the most powerful families. It goes deeper than that, but those are like the low-level puppeteers. And we can design a curriculum to teach them whatever the hell we want. Then we now have removed authority in the home, in the home and family unit. The father has the authority figure, the mother is the nurturing side. And 2 parents stay committed to each other and they raise the children that they have sired. That is when we see a pretty well-rounded human being, right? For the most part, because the control over what they're learning, what they're eating, what they're consuming, the content is all within the family unit. And you have the authority to raise your family the way that you best see fit. That is when children were the healthiest. So now we've taken women out of the home, made them think it was their idea. Ladies, you're oppressed. You better go get a job and get a career. That's what's going to make you happy. Obviously not just growing a garden and wearing sundresses and picking wildflowers and making, finger paintings with your babies. It's not that. It's going to be to fucking slave away and take planes, trains, and automobiles to go get to your career every day and put on a pantsuit and I don't know, be a boss bitch. I don't believe in that. I don't subscribe to that. I feel like that was the early beginnings of the disruption of the nuclear family. So now you have 2 people in the household that are struggling to raise the children because the woman is off doing her career, which is equally as important. I get that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that we've been manipulated. It's not as much about female empowerment as they would have you believe. So now we've removed the women from the household, right? We put them in the workforce. Great, that's fantastic. Now we've taken the children out of the home. We have indoctrinated them into the system. So now we have women who are no longer in their nurturing feminine identity, their female divine essence. They're now in masculine survival mode, right? So that created the latchkey kid generation. Nobody's raising the children. They're just kind of fending for themselves. And I feel like it was a trickle down effect. Like in my family, we have a saying, shit rolls downhill. And I feel like from that point in time, we have never been the same as a civilization. Then, the kids are being indoctrinated in school, and the government is removing God from almost every element of our society, which, whatever, I've never been religious, but I realize now more than ever that people need God more than anything, because they're just, quite frankly, fucking inept at making decisions on their own. Like for the most part, most of humanity, and I think we saw this with the past couple of years, cannot be trusted to make sound decisions for themselves. They are easily manipulated. They are easily swayed. They are just, for the most part, largely asleep. I think a lot of humanity are just not programmed. They don't have the mental construct for freedom. Some people love freedom. Others just don't know what to do with it. And they thrive when they're, just being herded like cattle. And most people just love staying in like autopilot. They're just that slave mind, that like slave mentality. They just work slaves, tax slaves, slaves to the system. They just, whatever, I just want Big Daddy government to tell me what to do, and I will never question it. I will just blindly obey and submit. That's it. And for those of us who are freedom thinkers and freedom lovers, and we are not programmed to follow the matrix design, we know that we have a higher purpose. We can see what's going on. They've deliberately removed God from our system. And what happens is when people don't believe in God, they don't believe in nothing. They believe in anything. So then it leaves like a vacuum, like a void for just any ideology to come in and fulfill that place, because we're supposed to have God in our lives in whatever capacity you choose best. I'm not like advocating for any one religion or whatever, but I am very close to my divine creator. I have a very special relationship with my higher power. And everything good that I have in my life can be directly related to my faith. So now we've taken the women out of the household, right? We have generations of children who nobody's raising. We put the women in the workforce. We have replaced God with government, which has been the plan all along. The state is definitely, there's some underhanded thing here happening where the state is really taking over all facets of the family unit, where it used to be completely self-reliant, and now we're pushing for government reliance, which is not done by accident. It's not a mistake. So getting back to our gender roles, my point here, I'm going to wrap this up. I've already been talking too long. Men and women are no longer embodying their gender roles. So we've got women in the workforce. Women have to be in their masculine energy in order to be independent and to thrive and to survive and to protect ourselves. We have to be in our masculine energy to do that. So speaking as someone who has been in her masculine energy my whole life, I can tell you how much this has harmed me and how much this has damaged me. Like, I spent the early part of my life being in fight or flight mode. When women have to be masculine, we're not being true to ourselves. We're not being the best possible version of ourselves. When we have to protect ourselves, when we have to be nurturing, intuitive, empathic, and loving, and in creation energy, and be our own protector, our survival, our hunter-gatherer, that's not natural for us. We're not supposed to be that way. We need men to protect and provide for us in order for us to be safe. Women lead men to their soul. Men protect women from harm. That's the best dynamic you can have. And there's so much mass confusion right now happening in the world. Like, to me, it's just nonsense, but people are really buying into it. And I think almost every problem we have as a society could be ironed out right now if the women started behaving like women. The truest essence of a woman is gorgeous, soft, graceful, feminine, delicate, loving, nurturing, compassionate, goddess energy. And if a man became the truest essence of male masculine energy, warrior, protector, duty bound, honor bound to his family, to his community. Men have a sense of duty to their family and community. It's a duty and an honor to serve and protect us. They protect the family. The woman teaches, nurtures, and fosters growth. Okay? Like, to me, it's a no-brainer. And now we have a dating crisis. We have a marriage crisis. We have a birth rate crisis. Contrary to what all the, climate hoaxists are preaching to everybody, we're actually experiencing depopulation right now. Like, we actually might be in danger of not being able to repopulate the planet. Like, sperm counts are down by 50% because all the bullshit they put in our food and those Glade air fresheners and seed oils. It's like male testosterone rates have plummeted 50% over the past couple decades. And that's why we're experiencing beta male energy, which is toxic male energy. And then you have these really hyper masculine women who are just so angry and volatile. And our society is just confused as a whole. Everything is out of whack, but it goes back to gender roles. Like I was saying, when I was younger, I was definitely a little shithead, metalhead. Like, I was smoking cigarettes when I was 12 years old, listening to death metal and, like, painting my eyes black and everything. Like, I was a little shithead, rebellious, super rebellious little kid. And I was very much in my male energy, and that's because I felt like I had to protect myself. So then as an adult, I spent my last, half of my life unlearning all that and really delving into who I really am. I no longer have to live in fight or flight mode. I'm no longer having to protect myself in that way. And it has been the best thing that's ever happened to me. And when I'm around a masculine man, I become a little lamb. When a strong, independent woman is around a really true alpha male, she will become the most beautiful, most graceful version of herself. I see this, like, when I'm around my male friends, they're very protective, loving, good, masculine men. Like, they're offended when I want to buy drinks or buy dinner. If we all go out and I'm, like, by myself, they will be like nonsense. They won't even conceive of me trying to pay my own bill. It's just how it is, whether it's cousins or whatever, like best friends, like the men in my circle of friends, they pay for the women. That there's not even a question. Like, if I went on a date with a man and he wanted me to pay, I would never go on a second date with him because it would mean that we are just friends. I love gender roles. You need gender roles in a society for us to function. It's okay. The man is supposed to be the protector. So him providing for you, him paying for a drink or a meal is his way of protecting you. Now, here's the difference. I would never accept a drink or something from a man that I wasn't romantically interested in, or if we weren't like family or friends or something, that is a woman's way of letting you know. Men, just so you know, if a woman pays for you, it's because she's not attracted to you. You are her friend in her mind. So if you want to be with a woman, take her out to dinner, pay for the dinner, unless she's just a gold digger, whatever. But you should be able to spot that type of woman. She's going to be a different type of human being. She probably has an OnlyFans. Like, don't go out with those kind of girls. That's not what they're looking for. They're not looking for, a relationship or marriage. I think humanity really depends on us getting back to our traditional gender roles. That is when everybody is the happiest. And like, ladies, I don't know about you, but I've been like kicking ass and being independent and, just slaving away at the grind my whole life. I've never had anyone protect me or provide for me, not even when I was a kid and they were supposed to. I've always provided for myself, and like, wow, I'm exhausted. It's exhausting. I have to tell you, like, I would love to be able to just go back to, I don't know, like the 50s and just have that beautiful, nurturing, balanced gender ideology. Like, I don't know, biology, like, it's just so, whatever we're doing right now, it's not working. It's so, I feel like, against God's plan. Like, life is so simple and human beings make it complicated, or they're just easily manipulated into complicating things. So here's a simple solution. Be what you really are. Be the best you can be at what you really are. Women, lean hard into your femininity. Men, lean hard into your masculine traits. Not toxic masculinity. Don't be a douche. Don't be egotistical. Don't be a jerk. You don't come in with violence. It's just you have the capacity to protect your family and your loved ones. That is truly masculine. Duty, honor, integrity. And ladies, same thing. If you want to attract a masculine man, you have to bring your highest essence of femininity to him. A real man, a good man, is never gonna want some, like back alley chick, like guzzling beers and fist fighting people. Like, no real gentleman is gonna wanna marry that or be with that kind of girl. So lean hard into your feminine qualities. Men, lean hard into your masculine qualities. And guess what? Like, we will restore balance in the world. And then here's how you heal it. Get married, have babies, stay together, and raise those babies. Raise them correctly. Balanced human beings. And everything in life is about harmony. Like the yin yang sign, there's balance there. We need light and dark. We need male and female. Not one is like better than the other. Equal in worth, yes. Of course, equal in worth and equal in value, but very different, but they balance each other. So we need both. We need both light and dark. We need both male and female traits.